If you could write down just 3 promises to yourself today going into 2026, what would they be? And you could not break those promises, what would they be? The reason why I'm discussing this is very simple. As we approach 2026 and 2025 is ending, there's a lot of talk on social media with goal setting. My goals for 2026 is my year, etc. Look, the harsh reality is this. If you aren't planning right now what your 2026 will be, just look at your 2025. How has that been? And history repeats itself. But more importantly, why don't most of our promises materialize? Interesting question, isn't it? Why don't they materialize? And I believe most people make promises to themselves, but they never write them down. Now, this has been proven by science that written down things increases your likelihood, I think up to 70% or 80% of you actually achieving that goal. But if it's in your mind, I'll do X, Y, and Z, or I'm going to do X, Y, and Z and some more, the likelihood of you achieving that is very unlikely. Dude, we live in a time where we're getting bombarded with stuff and things change. However, if you have written down your aspirations, your goals, you are more likely to execute them and not change or forget about them. Now, a promise forces you to confront reality. Now it's saying, I want it. How do you get it? You have to shift your identity. And how do you shift your identity? By making promises and acting on those promises. That's how you change your identity. That's how your life effectively changes. I remember when I was at my heaviest, 165 kilos, I was making promises to myself, but I never ever kept them. And it was horrible. It was the worst feeling ever, because I would say, oh man, I'm going to lose weight this year. I'm not going to eat that. I'm not going to eat this. But never nothing changed, because it was all in this. My noggin had all the answers, but it was never written down. What do I want to look like? How much do I want to weigh? There was no specific way of measuring. For me, it was like, I want to lose weight. Well, do you want to lose fat, or do you want to lose muscle mass? What do you want to lose? Do you get the gist, right? So be specific if you are in the process of setting goals, setting your aspirations for 2026, and setting the intention right. And don't be fluffy about it. Be direct, be concise, and be specific. Be that. Don't just say, if you are going for losing weight, more business, these are generic. Be specific. How much revenue do you want? How many customers do you want? What is the churn rate? You got to be that specific. I know I want to weigh 100 kilos. I want to have a 34-inch waist. I want to have my blood pressure optimal levels 110 or 120 over 80, which is currently, but I just want to make sure that stays. Body fat percentage, I want to be 12% body fat, 10 to 12% body fat, in that range. So the more specific you are, the better chances of you achieving those goals. Number 2, don't trust your own words. It's actions that will build trust. I can tell you, oh, I'm going to lose weight. But if my habits, if my actions aren't aligned, you will not only lose trust with yourself, but you will also lose trust of people around you. Because a lot of people think that if I say something, I verbalize it, something sick happens in our mind. We think we're going to achieve it, but the reality is that it's not. You have to understand this fundamental principle if you are going to change your life. We have two masters, pain and pleasure. Simple. You can look at your life right now, and I want you to imagine this, right? Look back at your life right now. You can see when you had successes and when you had failures. All of your actions are led by two things, pain and pleasure. Pleasure of becoming that, gaining that, and achieving that goal. And pain, the consequences of why did I do this? We are ruled by two masters, as Tony Robbins says, and that's correct. And also, another thing penalties do, it makes things a lot more clear. If I don't do this, then I will suffer. I knew if I did not lose weight, I was going to have a rubbish existence, and that pain of me being 365 pounds, not being able to walk a staircase, being in constant pain was far too much than the pain of me dieting, working out, changing my life. That's how you change. And understand this. If you are to rebuild your life, if you are going to change your life, it's not going to happen in one day. As they say, Rome wasn't built in one day. Nor is your life. If you, like myself, have made consistently bad decisions year after year, dude, you are not going to change it within a week. If you put on 100 kilos, you are not going to lose that in 1 month. So be sensible about it. Start small. Keep the little promises. And this is how your identity shifts, because now you're operating from your future self. And there's a big psychology and a competitive advantage when you start acting from your future self. I can't explain it because I'm not a psychologist, but I'm telling you, the decision making I have done and I have consistently taken when I've had successes in my life is through operating from my future self. It sounds delusional, but it works. And I don't care if I can't explain it. But I'm telling you, choose a character. Act like that character. Someone who can achieve those goals. And I guarantee you, you will be a bit more conscientious about your decisions. I hope that helps. So, if you are going to sit down today and you're ready to commit to changing your life, I want you to join this movement, man. 2026 is going to be a great year for us. So, click on the link below, subscribe to the channel, and let's grow this movement. Just before I go, if someone was to ask you to write down one goal for 2026, what would it be? I'll see you tomorrow.